These are quite scary. I will say that.
I'm a young teenage girl, and this happened recently. I can still remember the image in my head, playing over and over again. I live in an apartment complex on the 3rd floor. I don't usually get visitors, and when I do, it's just my aunties and cousins coming over. On this particular day, I was lying on my bed, watching YouTube as usual. I don't have a phone anymore since it gave me a lot of trouble and then stopped working permanently. Anyway, after watching YouTube, I got up to greet my stepdad as he came home from work. After greeting him, I went back to my room where my brothers were on their bunk bed.
Yo, thank you for the bits, Lancy. I appreciate that. Please stop. I'm really scared.
I shared a room with them, so I never had privacy of my own.
Look, promise good, man. Thank you. It's really, really good.
As I was looking around, my brother suddenly said he heard knocking on the door. It was dark out, and I didn't believe him at first. Since I hadn't heard it, I shrugged it off. But then, I heard the knock. My brother got up, but I told him to sit back down on the bed. I'm the oldest, and I didn't want my younger brothers opening doors for strangers.
If I had a younger sibling and someone knocked on my door, I'd be selling them first, you know what I mean? Don't know about any, but I'm dropping all my crisps. How's your girlfriend? She's good, man. She's good, thanks. I'm actually dropping all my crisps all over me.
I walked up to the door. There was a chair right next to it. For some reason, I didn't want the person knocking to know anyone was home. So I didn't move the chair in front of the door to look through the peephole. Instead, I climbed onto the chair, leaning close.
Oh, bro, you just firm it, you know what I mean? You just firm it. Chat, would anyone else just firm it? Spam 1 if you just firm it. Or would you go around the rigging just to try and get a glimpse of the person who's knocking on your door? Because 9 out of 10, it's just a normal person asking for help or something, you know what I mean? Like, bloody hell, chat. Was your prom today? It was not today. It was Friday. I'm really happy for you and your girlfriend. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. We film it easy, trust me.
Almost falling as I tilted my body to look. And that's when the fear hit me. I won't forget what I saw through the peephole. It was a mass.
Oh, hell no. That scared the life out of me, chat.
Man wearing a blue raincoat, almost like some kind
Jesus Christ.
of government
Bro, 6 people just clicked off after I showed them this.
worker. He was standing slightly slanted to the side, but what terrified me most was the gun. He held it right up to the peephole, almost as if he wanted whoever was looking to see it. Heart racing, I slowly stepped down from the chair. I slipped off my slides so they wouldn't make a sound.
Chat, what
I
countries
turned
is
to
this
my
happening?
brothers and gestured with my hand,
what countries is
shaping
this
a
happening,
gun,
bro?
warning them to be silent. I quickly shut off all the lights
This is
and
gut,
ran
man.
into my
It's actually
stepdad's
gut.
room to tell him what I had just seen. What made it
Bro, the
worse
thing is,
was
every
that
time, yeah, right. When I heard coughing, yeah, like the other night, yeah, I was absolutely so scared, man. When I heard coughing, I went to my parents' room. I ran up to my parents' room, yeah. I said, guys, is the cat in? Because my cat could have just been like choking or something. So I said, is the cat in? They were like, no. And that's when I was just like, I looked at them and went, what do you bloody mean the cat's not in? And then they just went, why? I said, I heard coughing. And guess what? What's that thing at the door? Shut up. Genuinely, chat, don't do stuff like that, man. Deadass, don't do stuff like that, bro. It's not funny. It's not funny, bro. I'll see you in a bit, Ned. And then I went to my parents' room, yeah, and they just didn't even care that I just heard coughing downstairs, man. I just went straight back to bed and left me with whatever demon was there, bro.
right before the man came, the electricity went out, and the internet too. That made it feel even scarier. My brothers ended up coming into my stepdad's room.
I'm reacting to horror stuff. I am indeed getting scared at horror. This is cooked.
Room as well. We used the flashlight on his phone since the ceiling light in his room didn't work. The knocking continued. My stepdad wanted to check the peephole himself, but I wouldn't let him. I was too scared that even the slightest sound would give us away. We stayed in the room for over an hour. Eventually, it seemed like the man had left because we heard a little boy and his parents walking into their apartment on our floor. We could also hear kids playing downstairs on the first floor. That was when I finally called my mom and asked if we could go to my aunt's
I'm not. I'll do my own thing. I am indeed.
house
Go on,
without
AJ.
telling her what had happened. we left in a hurry.
Second pack of crisps.
I never saw that man again, but the thought still terrifies me. What if I had let my...
Imagine Brett was just going to go to Comic-Con or something, and he was just, like, dressed up as, like, something. And he's just scared the whole family. Son, I don't think I'll give you a lift, mate, to be honest.
brother open the door?
Oh, hell no. What's that? What's that? Oh my god. That's cooked.
I'm currently 28 years old, but this story happened when I was just 7, and I still remember it to this day.
Oh god.
I used to go to a local park with some friends. We had been going there for almost 2 years, but over the last 5 months we noticed something strange. Every single day, there was a short, fat, creepy old guy.
And we all know what he wants. He wants to make the devil's tango. He just wants a little bit of fun. And nah, that's weird, Alfie, that's weird.
Who would sit on a nearby bench. He'd just watch us, and other kids, for hours, with this unsettling grin on his face. We stupidly went there without any parents or guardians, since the park was close to...
Chat, I'm sorry, yeah, but if I saw this guy every single day for 5 months at the park looking really strange, I wouldn't be able to not ask him what he's doing. Like, I'd go and sit next to him and ask him, you know, so what brings you here? You know what I'm saying, chat? Does anyone else feel the same way? Like, that just doesn't sit right with me, man.
...to our house, and our parents trusted us. This was back in 2003, and we were so young we didn't have phones to call for help. About 2 weeks after we started to feel uncomfortable with him watching us, he finally came over. It was just me and my 3 friends in the park that day.
You can easily take that. I know he said he was 7, but 3 7-year-olds could easily hit him, you know what I mean?
He walked up and asked us if we wanted to go to his house to play video games and check out his new dog.
Oh, hell no.
Since we were kids, we were foolish.
What do you mean?
Games and check out his new dog. Since we were kids, we were foolish, and we agreed. It sounded fun, and for a moment we thought maybe he was just a kind guy after all, but we were very wrong. He said his house was about a 20-minute walk from the park, so the 4 of us walked with him. About 10 minutes into the walk, a cop car drove by and started to slow down. The passenger cop leaned out the window, staring at us. The man told us to walk faster, saying that way we'd get more time to play games and to see his dog before having to leave, so we picked up the pace. But then, the cop car suddenly made a U-turn, and a loud voice shouted,
"You there! Freeze! Put your hands on your head! You're under arrest!"
Chat. Have you guys ever been taught stranger danger in school? Because I don't remember ever being taught stranger danger in school, and I think it's really, really bad. Like, I actually, you know what I mean?
We froze, confused and scared. The man bolted, but because of his age and size, he didn't get far. One cop tackled him to the ground and cuffed him, while the other officer asked us if we were okay and what had happened. We told him everything. He nodded and said it was very lucky they drove by when they did. Another cop car was called to drive us home, while the first car took the man to the station. The police explained everything to our parents, and from that day forward, we were banned from going to that park. At the time, my parents thought I was too young to understand the details, but when I turned 13, they finally told me the truth. That...
Yeah, no, Game Wolf, I see what you're saying, but I'm not friends with people that don't know what they look like. You know what I mean?
man was a known sexual offender.
Oh, hell no.
He called what he did his hunting, and he did it at local parks. That revelation terrified me. I started thinking about what could have happened to me and my 3 friends if that cop car hadn't driven by.
You can't think like that though, after, can you? You know, you can't think like that.
And stopped him. And honestly, I don't even want the answer, because I already know what it would have been. The police didn't share many details about his punishment, but my dad told me that one officer said the man would get at least 15 years in prison for his other crimes. My name is Dhruv Prajapati.
Where's your nose, Drew?
And I am from India. I'll tell you about an experience I had on Dumas Beach that still chills me to the bone. Dumas Beach in Surat has always been a place wrapped in mystery and dark rumors. People say it's haunted, and over the years, countless stories have circulated about strange sounds, vanishing shadows, and eerie figures that wander the sands at night. As curious as I am, I never really believed in any of it until one night changed everything.
Oh, I know, man.
It was a rare weekend night, and some friends and I decided to hang out on Dumas Beach after sunset. We'd heard the rumors, the tales of restless spirits, unexplained disappearances, and how people seemed to disappear into the mist along the shore. But we just laughed it off, convinced it was nothing but local folklore meant to keep people away after dark. As we walked along the beach, the only sounds were the waves crashing and our voices echoing strangely in the emptiness. Then, without warning, an icy gust of wind swept across the beach. It cut right through us, and we all felt the sudden chill. One of my friends even joked,
"Maybe it's one of the ghosts."
But the laughter faded when we heard it, a whisper, faint and breathless, like someone was speaking just behind us. We stopped, our senses on high alert, and looked around. There was no one. The beach was empty.
Sure. Another side one, yeah. I used to be a big believer in ghosts and stuff, yeah. I used to, but since I went to the horror museum and coming back, I don't know, I kind of lost a lot of my belief in it. I don't know what it is, chat, I'll be honest. But I'm not really a strong believer anymore. You know what I mean? I chose product design, man. Yeah, I don't really know what's going on with me, really, about, like, ghosts and stuff.
I brushed it off, figuring it was just the wind, but something felt wrong. I remember hearing that the beach was once a Hindu burial ground, and that maybe, just maybe, the souls of those buried here hadn't yet found peace. As we walked further, my flashlight started flickering, and a thick, eerie mist began to roll in. It was denser than anything I'd ever seen. Just then, one of my friends gasped and pointed at the ground. There, right in front of us, were footprints, appearing in the sand as though someone invisible was walking straight toward us.
Like, it's just hard to
Our
believe.
nerves got the better
It really is hard to believe.
of us, and one of my friends whispered,
"Let's get out of here."
I didn't need to be told twice, but something, maybe my curiosity or something else, held me back for just a moment longer. I looked down at the footprints moving closer, step by step, almost as if they had intent. And then,
AJ, bro, stop doing that, man. That's not even funny, bro. Ellie, have a good one, man. Have a good one. That's not even funny, bro. Don't do that.
for just a brief second, I saw it, a shadow-like figure, its hollow eyes staring directly at me. The look in its eyes wasn't anger, it was something else, a mix of sorrow and warning. Heart racing, I stumbled back, and my friends and I broke into a run. As we sprinted back, I could hear faint whispers following us, growing louder, and footsteps closing in behind us. When we finally reached the entrance to the beach, where the glow of the streetlights met us, we dared to turn around. The mist had already thinned, and the beach looked silent, almost peaceful, as if nothing had ever happened.
What do you think of that shot? Like, bro, I don't know if I believe this stuff, man. Like, you used to try and be open up to it, you know what I mean? Seen a bit Frankie, mate. I appreciate that, bro. Have a good one, man. What else?
Hi, my name is Sarah. I'm writing this email because something really strange happened to me. I live in India, and this happened about 2 years ago when I was 16. I live with my parents and 2 older brothers. In our neighborhood, there are only about 10 houses built in the same style, 2-story houses. My parents and I sleep on the first floor, and my brothers sleep on the second. So it was just like any other morning. I woke up and my mom and older brother, Ali, were talking in another room. They were loud, but I didn't really pay attention. I was brushing my teeth and getting ready for school when my brother came into my room and jokingly said,
"Want to see a ghost? Come here."
I was so confused and a little creeped out.
Side one shot. In one of my exams, yeah, in actual GCSE, yeah, my belly just started rumbling really, really bad. But outside the back, it was really, really loud rumble and just echoed throughout the whole room. I could feel everyone like trying to side-eye me because you're not allowed to turn around or anything. But I could feel it, chat. They wanted me dead.
He walked to my parents' room and pointed to the window.
Look!
There was a huge road in front of our house, and I saw a man standing in the middle of it, wearing a shawl. It was winter, and the fog was thick outside, making it hard to see. He was looking to the left, where there were bushes and dense trees. It looked like a small forest. My mom was terrified, having never seen him in our neighborhood, but I thought he was waiting for someone. We watched him for about 10 minutes, and what really gave me the creeps was that he just kept staring at the bushes without moving a muscle.
Oh, hell no.
Then we shrugged
Go on,
and
I love
started
dogs, man. How's
getting
it
ready
going?
for the day. My older brother Assad used to always take me to college on his scooter, and as we were leaving, I saw the man standing in the middle of the road, still facing the bushes.
I'm good, thanks.
My brother passed him, and I watched him closely for a few seconds. He was wearing white pajamas and a light brown kurta. His shawl was off-white and covered him from head to knee. I could only see his eyes, and when my eyes met his, a shiver ran through my body. I could only see his eyes, but I could tell he was
I'm gonna have to
smiling,
go back, I'm afraid.
and his smile seemed to be a wide grin. I got goosebumps. During the ride to college, I kept wondering, is he smiling at me, or is he smiling at something in the bushes? Once I got there, I quickly forgot about it and focused on my day.
How do you
I
forget about
left
stuff
the
like that, though?
university around 3 p.m.
That's what I don't
and
get.
rode home on a three-wheeler, a vehicle similar to a taxi. I was on my phone
I
the
could always
entire
look at-
ride, and as I
I could.
neared home, I thought of the man. I looked outside and saw the same man still standing there in the same position. The thought of him standing there for 8 hours in the winter without moving a muscle
hell
was
no, 8 hours in the
mind-boggling.
winter.
I was horrified.
Yeah, he's
The
cooked.
driver was driving in the opposite direction, so I couldn't see his face, only his back. I wondered if he was still smiling. I went home,
Yeah, that's
ate,
cooked, Chad.
and
That's cooked,
slept.
that's cooked.
I woke up around 10 p.m., the time my dad usually gets home from work. My mom and I were talking about the day, and I had completely forgotten about the man. Then my dad
How
arrived
do you forget about the
and told
man?
my mom he had been standing there since morning. I ran to the window, and sure enough, he was there, staring at the bushes, not moving a muscle. Before coming home, my dad went to the man and asked him why he'd been standing there all day, but he didn't say anything. We were all so
he on your
confused as to
property?
why he'd been standing there all day, especially in the winter. After dinner, before bed, my dad told us to lock all the doors and windows.
That's what you do
He didn't
anyway.
usually say that, so I figured it was about the man. I locked everything and double-checked to see if he was still there,
You know what I
and
mean?
to my
That's what you do anyway.
surprise, he was. We went to bed, and the next morning, I was eating breakfast and watching TV when I suddenly remembered the man. I looked out the window, and he was gone. He hasn't been seen since. We were all horrified by it, but after a few days, we all collectively forgot about it. I asked countless questions like, why
How do you forget, man?
was he standing there? Why was he staring
How
at
would
the
you forget
bushes?
something like that,
Was there
man?
something in the bushes? But we never got any answers, and the man standing outside still remains a mystery. It was a normal, cool
Let's have a
evening.
look at this one.
My mom and I were heading to Kohl's to buy some new clothes for me since I had outgrown my old ones. We walked in, and at first, nothing seemed out of the ordinary. At one point, I grew bored of looking at clothes, so I told my mom I was going to explore the store on my own. She nodded and told me to stay close. As I wandered off,
Did
I
you expect
noticed a
last season
woman.
to finish second?
She was
one?
dressed in
What
all
league are you in,
black with long
How you
black
doing, man?
hair, and she was staring right at me. Her eyes were wide open, black eyeliner streaked
Just
down her
smack her, bro.
face. Her eyes were so wide it looked unnatural. A wave of fear hit me. I frantically looked around for my mom. When I couldn't
Thank you for
find
life,
her,
appreciate that.
panic started to set in. Then I turned back. The woman was even closer, smiling, that same unsettling, creepy smile. I was so scared I couldn't even think straight. I didn't have a phone, so there was no way to call my mom for help. Thinking quickly,
Y'all
I
are
darted
actually
into the
terrified by this.
clothing racks, trying to hide. Then a hand grabbed my shoulder. I stifled a scream and spun around. It was my mom. Relief washed over me, even as she scolded me for running off, but her words barely registered. My mind was locked on the woman. The woman could still be out there, watching, waiting. Then, my mom's tone shifted. Her face grew more serious. She asked if I had seen a woman with long black hair and wide eyes. My heart skipped a beat.
Yeah, you should.
She had just described
Again, Wolf, you
the
should,
exact
man.
woman I'd
You're
seen.
cooked.
I told her yes, that I had seen her, and that I was terrified. My mom nodded. She quickly paid for our things, and we left.
No.
Nothing happened after
Chat, this
that,
isn't
but
scary,
the
bro.
image of her never left me. Her eyes, her wide smile. Even now, it still gives me chills.
Chat, are you genuinely scared by this chat? Are you actually... Spam 1 if you're scared by this chat, genuinely. Like, I'm actually interested, bro. Like, what? Really, Cara? Damn, bro.
My name is Zama, and I'm from South Africa.
Go on,
In
Zama,
August
you're
of
mad.
2024,
Alright, bro.
something terrifying happened to us. I live in a 2-bedroom apartment in a block of flats with my 9-year-old daughter Coco. One Sunday at 2:30 a.m., we were fast asleep with all the lights off, as we usually are. Then I suddenly woke up to the sensation of someone reaching for my tablet right beside me. At first, I thought it was my daughter Coco. She often grabs the tablet when she can't sleep. But then I realized something was very wrong. There was an unknown man in our apartment. I'm a light sleeper, especially where my daughter is concerned. So I screamed as loud as I could and grabbed him. I think my sudden reaction made him freeze for a moment. He already had my iPhone in his hand, the one Coco had been using earlier that evening. We started fighting, and as we struggled, we both fell on top of my daughter, who was still asleep.
Oh,
I was terrified, thinking if he overpowered me, he'd go for her next. I pushed him out of my room and into the living room. I was just trying to get him out. In a panic, I grabbed pots and pans
bro, I'd be
and
throwing
threw
that
them
down.
at him, anything I could find. Finally, he backed away, opened the door, and ran out. I was in shock, thinking the door must have been unlocked, but later discovered he had crept in through the bathroom window. We live on the 2nd floor, and I never thought to lock that window. I assumed it was safe. He was skinny enough to step on the balcony rails and squeeze through the burglar guards.
game's gunshot.
Once inside, he unlocked the front door so he could escape quickly if he needed to. Despite my screams, none of my neighbors came to help. They called later to say they'd heard something, but hadn't come down. I was devastated, but at least I managed to cancel my bank cards on Apple Pay before any payments went
Oh,
through.
simple flick. Simple,
We don't
simple,
live in that
even
apartment
simpler
anymore.
things.
We're
You shut
okay,
your window at
but
night.
we're scared of living alone for now. A few days later, we found out there was a group
Hey,
of
chat, I'm no
thieves
genius, bro.
targeting homes in our area. I was the only person who woke up during the break-in. Others lost much more valuable items. 2 days after our incident, one of the thieves was found dead in the morning. I don't know whether it was the same man who entered our apartment, and honestly, I don't much care. They chose that life.